Everyone has a story. Stories have power. They help us understand each other. This is Jessop's Journal. Hello, Katie. Great to see you.
Hello, Doug.
Let's go chat.
All right, sounds good.
So, Katie, it's time to sign into Jessop's Journal.
Yay! Right here, right?
Hi, I'm Doug Jessop. It's time for another entry into Jessop's Journal, and you know we are social distancing here, and we are spraying, you know, the little hand sanitizer, and I'm using Jessop's Journal hand sanitizer. Who would have thought, from Five Wise. I want to introduce and thank Katie Higley today here in the house.
I am.
So thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome. I am very, very excited and happy to be here. So.
Well, I notice you've got a couple friends here.
I do. You know, I always bring them along. Ever since I was young, I have, everywhere I've gone, I've brought my guitar, my ukulele, and when I was in college, I would literally bring I would stroll along my keyboard, because you never know where inspiration will strike, and you never know who you're going to meet.
That's true.
And so instruments are a way to connect and open yourself up to the possibilities around you.
So some kids use blankies, but no, you know, Katie uses ukuleles.
I do.
Okay. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Norco, California, Horsetown, USA.
Yes, Horsetown.
Horsetown, yes, where there's horse trails and instead of sidewalks, and which is funny enough because we grew up with a tennis court in our backyard. And I grew up listening to Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra, and I would dream that I was ice skating on the backyard. Like we had a tennis court instead of like a horse a stall, or you know what I mean, stables. We had tennis courts, and I would go rollerblading and pretend I was ice skating.
You were close to your grandparents.
Yes.
And where did they live?
Yes. Okay, so part of my family lived in West Hollywood, and that's where my grandpa grew up, and also Whittier and that area. And they, you know, we would go, and my mom would show us, go drive up the hills. And yeah, my grandpa grew up in going to the grocery store and seeing Marilyn Monroe, and and he wrote a whole book of it in the later part of his life. He recently passed away, and we had a big celebration of life for him. He was an entertainer himself, and loved commanding a crowd, I guess, you know, sharing and having fun and jokes. And his big thing, you know how I bring my ukulele? He always brought a kazoo. Wherever he went. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's better. It just fits in your pocket, right?
Right, okay.
But that was his thing, and him and my grandma, they were all entertainers themselves. That's actually why my grandpa loved my grandma, because the parties were always over at their house.
There you go.
And they would always be singing and playing, and so that just trickled down to their grandkids, because, you know, when we get together for an event, like family parties, we would sing our prayer before we would say a prayer and, you know, dig in. And that's something that's really unique and something that's really special to our family, that we sing Be Present at Our Table, Lord. And it's so powerful, the connection and the unity that music can bring into your life, into your space. It's quite incredible, and it's I wish everyone could experience those types of unity promoting experiences, especially with the family. Like, that is so important. Right.
Well, you know, weird little sidebar. I grew up in Whittier.
Yeah.
And it's like you're the second person that I've interviewed serendipitously that is from Whittier. So if anybody out there is from Whittier that wants to be interviewed, come talk to me. Anyway, so what was this song that your great-grandfather sang?
Yes, he sang White Christmas with Bing Crosby. The Bing Crosby, and he sang as the first tenor in the quartet.
Really?
And so you can hear Grandpa every Christmas on the radio when they're singing the I'm dreaming of, you know. And It's beautiful. I just love it. It brings in warmth, and wherever it's, you know, it's played every single year on repeat. I'm sure a lot of people hear it, but it's one of my favorites.
Oh, it better be. Come on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Also, you know, just sidebar here, okay, people. We liked her enough that we, you know, had her do some also music. So be watching for a special where, yes, I did put you on the spot. And I will say,
Yes.
you did I think that your great grandfather would be very proud.
Thank you. I hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
Well, you know, because one of the other things I look at, and I was raised with a theme that says, remember where you come from.
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing in your life right now that kind of gives homage to this entire entertainment clan?
I get the privilege every single week to teach music.
Oh, really?
I've been teaching for 12 years, and I teach piano, guitar, ukulele, and voice. And to watch someone go from this belief of like, I might be able to do it, like sometimes they don't even believe in themselves, but they're there enough because they know they want a change.
Okay.
They want a tool to express, and music is that tool.
Yes.
And it is so powerful to watch people go from this stage of transformation of not so confident to blooming in love and light and sharing and happiness and confidence. It is one of the joys of my life besides my kids, like watching my kids grow. Being married is number one, but like number two, it's really high up there. It's watching people grow in their musical talents, because expression is beauty, and that beauty is powerful. It goes straight to the heart. You know, words that are sung have way more of an impact in people's lives than just the written word or the spoken word. It feels like it's amplified to a degree. Does that make sense?
It takes it to another level.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're at the Church and State building.
Yes.
This used to be a church.
Gorgeous.
And from like the late 1800s.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of interesting to see you and hear you perform, but also to see kind of an expression of your soul.
The song is called Instrument of Peace. It was created on Black Tuesday. The words are originally from St. Francis of Assisi, and he lived in Italy almost 1,000 years ago, and I saw his words for the first time from a friend's Facebook post. And you know, you're just scrolling along, and I remember just seeing the words. I stopped by, thank you, Chantel. I've got to thank her. She's the one that posted it, Chantel McBride. She posted this beautiful prayer, and the words, I started reading them. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. And I started singing, immediately started singing it. And the words, and I was like, it's coming. So I had to go grab my ukulele and start playing and singing it, and it just flowed out, and it was a gift. And I praise God, because He's a giver of all good gifts. And what was even more amazing about this, not only is it a unifying prayer, a prayer of the heart, it was a gift. And as soon as the song was done, as soon as I finished singing and playing the ukulele with it, and it was a complete and whole, there was a monarch butterfly that came into my home. And is that a coincidence? No, like that was His sign to me saying, this is your gift, Katie. This is a gift for everyone, because this is my message. And I knew that Heavenly Father's so good when you,
Francis of Assisi's.
Yeah.
Do you know what he is the patron saint of? Animals.
Really? I did not know that. So I'm not Catholic.
So there's your butterfly.
So there's my butterfly. That is amazing. This was a gift for me to share, because this message is needed right now. I feel like in the world we need peace, we need understanding. Just like how we're talking one with another, it starts with us conversing with each other and understanding each other's personal stories. because those have power and they have impact. And the more that we share, the more that we understand, and the less that we hate, and more peace can come in.
You've read my slogan line.
I did not,
Yeah.
I promise. I promise I did not.
So the funny thing is, here's the thing, the actual slogan line for Jessop's Journal is everyone has a story. Stories have power. They help us understand each other. So,
Amen.
spot on.
I love that.
You did a TEDx talk.
I did.
Tell me about that.
Yes, oh my gosh, that was an incredible experience. And that came out, it was a song and a story, but the story came because a friend came to me with a very heartbreaking story of his story of attempting suicide. I just don't even like saying the words, you know, saying that, but because to me it's hard to fathom that anyone wants to, because life is such a gift, like taking your own life. It breaks my heart, really. And it actually happened to my grandpa, the same grandpa that sang on White Christmas. He took his own life. And when I found out, it was just tragic. And so when my friend came, he shared with me his story. I shared all of my TED Talks. So it was titled, "It's Okay Not to Be Okay." And his experience was really just having the need to talk through it. He ended up attempting, and he was supposed to die. He took a ton of pills, but he ended up waking up. And then a week later, he woke up early in the morning, and he said that he felt as if someone was from the other side saying, like, wake up, you need to write this message down because this message needs to get out now. It needed to be a message of hope. It needed to be a message of not giving up, like when things get hard, overcoming depression, loss, and sadness. And so he came to me and needed a song written, and that song ended up becoming the song "It's Okay." And through the course of several months, he came over, and we would work through the song, and this, the message of this song is so powerful. Here's a little snippet of the chorus. You can mean the depths of your demons. You could be lost out at sea. You could be struggling up mountains. You think you'll never peak.
I'm going to ask you to share a little deep personal one, because I understand you've kind of been in that same situation.
I have.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. Flip side, I was in my car. Someone came in on the freeway, 6 lanes of the highway. I was on the right lane. Came into my lane, I hit the wall. My car spun out of control, and I was covered in this white light. I remember feeling as if like time was like expanded or stood still. It was this interesting space that I was in for a split second of time. But I remember snapping out of it as soon as I saw this huge semi coming at me. I was facing oncoming traffic during rush hour, and my car was still spinning, and so it hit another car. The car hit in the fast lane, 70 miles per hour. We were all able to walk away from that accident. But my life flashed before my eyes when I was in that space. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like that thought of, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. Thinking about how your life can be taken in an instant, because we don't know when we go. We don't know when our time is. Right after this accident happened, I totally cried and totally, I was praising God that I was still alive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, what do you need me to do? Like, I totally fresh eyes on everything. And then it was like the next day, my friend came over, totally random. I told her the whole story, and she said, Katie, I know exactly what you're feeling. She said, I've been in that space. She said, I was in a car accident where it was a fatality, like everyone else in the car had died except her, and she woke up in the hospital a week later. But she said she was in that same space that I was describing for a week. And an angel had come to her and said, everything's going to be okay. And that's when she woke up. And so she's like, I understand. I'm like, I'm not crazy then. Like, this isn't just me. Like, you feel this weight inside of your body. And until it's addressed, until we literally vocalize what is happening, and it's through the power of music, through the power of speaking your words, we are able to release and free these trapped feelings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've done stories with music therapy.
Yeah.
You know, it's that same kind of thing, to be able to express things. Mental health issues are real.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we need, and it's okay, because I like the message that you're talking about. It's okay to not be okay.
Not be okay. Yeah.
And to be able to say that, because the thing that I look at and I've experienced, you know, myself, is the fact that, you know, you get into a dark place and you need to be able to figure out how to get out of that. I get the distinct impression from you that part of how you get it out of that is your faith.
Yes.
You've honored your great-grandfather, but there was a grandmother that you honored recently.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I love her so much. She was a singer too. She was a walking dictionary. Whenever she came into your space, she would always say, I love you. Thank you for coming to see me. Or we honored her with this awesome song that she loved, and the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
What does that song mean to you?
To me, it feels like I am pressing forward along a path that I marching on to glory for God. Like, it's everything that I do in my life is for Him.
You realize that you're answering with song lyrics. I mean, because, you know, there's an easy, peaceful feeling and blah, blah, blah. You know, you've also been on American Idol.
Yeah.
Very cool. And
That's a fun experience.
I understand you were a soul sister.
I was a soul sister.
Tell me.
I was named soul sister on my girls' camp when I was really young.
See,
and
I knew there was a
loved
story.
gospel music. And so when this song came out by Train, and I was like, that's the song I'm going to sing.
Okay.
I just loved how happy it is. It's upbeat. It's a fun.
Give me a little bit.
Fun.
Here.
Hey, 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 your lipstick stains on the front lobe of my left side brain. I knew I wouldn't forget ya, and soon you went and let me blow your mind. Here's the chorus. Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr. on the radio, stereo, the way you move ain't fair, you know. Hey, soul sister, I don't wanna miss a single thing you do tonight.
So, who were the judges that you played that in front of?
It was for Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan.
So, was that ever so slightly intimidating?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, duh.
You walk through the room and there's like tons of lights, and it's like, holy smokes, like.
I've got a special request.
Okay.
Now, I love gospel music.
Yay.
Have you ever heard of the song Swing Low?
Yes. We'll have lessons.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. That was great,
I think that
Doug.
works.
Woohoo!
So, Katie,
I
thanks so
loved it.
much for coming on Jessop's
Thank
Journal.
you.
You know, and of
Thank
course
you.
I got to thank the people that made this possible. You
Yes.
know, I mean, you know, who would have thought Jessop's Journal hand sanitizer? It's really Five Wives, the Ogden's Distillery guys, and of course, Rustico makes all my journals. It's Jessop's Journal. You got to have a journal, and guess what?
That's
They're
awesome.
going to make one for you. Go figure.
That is so awesome.
So with another entry into Jessop's Journal and Katie Higley, I'm Doug Jessop, ABC4 News.